Good morning, everyone. So, guys, the United Kingdom is braced for 72 hours of snow, although or what the mainstream media are telling us. Now, guys, before we get onto this video, if you've not done so already, please like, comment, subscribe, share my stuff. You know, I really appreciate it when you guys do that. Apparently, 30% of my viewers don't subscribe to the channel, so we'd love to get that metric up or down, whichever way you guys are, whichever way you guys think about that. So, right now in the United Kingdom, I feel we're getting braced for a very cold winter. You know, we have a solid fuel burner in our house, so we are really conscious of the time we start to, you know, put our heating on for, you know, because for us it's not just like flicking a switch. You know, we have to get wood, we have to get coal, we have to get fire lighters, you know, so it is a big hullabaloo for us to start, you know, to start our heating. Now, normally I will do that on the 1st of November. We'll try and muddle through with jumpers, with blankets or whatever until the 1st of November. But honestly, I think it's going to be today when we light our first fire. You know, in the garden, we've got a treehouse we need to take down. I think I'm going to go down with the girls later. And we're going to try and, you know, start taking that treehouse down and reprocessing that wood to burn. But the reason I'm saying this is because of the recent announcements from the government, whereby we're cutting winter fuel payments. Now, just the fact that people are cutting winter fuel payments, that's going to have a huge knock-on effect, because psychologically people are going to be scared to put their heating on. Now, what happens then is, you know, I can remember going to my nan and granddad's house, like, I mean, this was years ago, you know, and they would have put the heating on and it was absolutely freezing in their house, and they were walking around in the house with like hats on and gloves on. And we just can't have a situation right now where we're doing this, but we're finding money for other things. We're finding money to give to other people that have not paid into that tax system. Anyway, guys, without turning this into a rant, let's see what articles we're talking about. So I'm going to share this with you guys real quick, and we'll have a little talk about what it means. So snow forecast, you know, exact date, -5 Arctic blast and a 200-mile wall of ice will hammer the United Kingdom. Now, we can pay lip service to this or think that it's clickbait or whatever, but the fact is people are, you know, it's coming out there, and I do think, like, from personal experience, the weather really is closing in a lot. It's becoming a lot colder than it was last year, certainly. So in Scotland, the Highlands and areas north of Glasgow will see temperatures 0 and -2, but the really cold weather will see parts of the Highlands drop to as low as -5. So this map in general is talking about the Scottish Highlands. That's not to say it's not going to be drop really cold in the United Kingdom. With global warming, with the, you know, and people, you know, you can argue whether you want about global warming. I think global warming is real. It is happening, but I'm not convinced that humans have such a big role in it. And I'm not convinced that raising taxes is going to lower the global temperature at all. You know, if you look at the biggest contributor to global warming, it's the sun. And I don't know, and I've said this on many videos, I genuinely don't know how much money we can pay in tax before the sun loses temperature. You know, if we pay £1 million a year, 2 million, £1 billion, £1 trillion a year, how are we going to lower the temperature of the sun? I don't know. You know, maybe David Lammy's got a plan, you know, maybe in his infinite wisdom or whoever it is. I mean, David Lammy took that on his shoulders to lower global temperatures. And as foreign secretary, he wants to be a climate guy. But, you know, I don't know how much raising taxes is going to lower the temperature. Now, I'm just going to share this one with you as well, guys, because this has come out in 2 articles now. So I do think there is going to be cold weather hitting the United Kingdom at some point. So UK map shows exact date, 72 hours snowstorm. Now, this is predominantly focused in the Highlands. But, you know, this news article now is saying that large parts of the UK will be covered in snow. And this is saying temperatures are going to drop to -10. Guys, be under no illusion. If we see -10 in cities, in built-up areas, you can pretty much, you know, you can pretty much guarantee people will be freezing. It's not something -10 we have in the United Kingdom very often, but with all this, you know, with all this, the contributions to, what's the word I'm looking for? The contributions towards the cuts in benefits cuts in spending, you know, cuts towards the old people. And I keep getting onto this because this sort of stuff all adds to this cauldron of chaos that we're having right now in the United Kingdom, whereby I want to keep this as a weather, you know, I want to keep this as a weather video, but we've got to look holistically at the contributing factors to civil unrest in the United Kingdom. So right now we're having this, you know, the media are saying we're having this cold weather. So that's going to have an effect on old people. It's also going to have effect on people who have old people in their families who are thinking, right, okay, my nan, my granddad, my mum, my dad, whoever that may be, they're struggling financially and they're not going to put their heating on. All this time, you're going to see pro-Palestine marches, and you'll see where I'm going to, guys. All right, you're going to see these pro-Palestinian marches, people waving Palestinian flags, people shouting death to America, people shouting death to the West, you know, and then you're going to see a lot of these people going back to these hotels. And these hotels have 3 meals a day. They have their heating on. And guess what? We're paying for that. So in the same context, we're paying for these people to go out on the streets and protest against us. That's the reality. That's happening. You know, we are also making cuts to the people. Let me get this right because it's going to sound absolutely absurd. Whilst we're paying the people in the hotels to go out and protest against us, we're making cuts to the people who are paying the people in the hotels to go out and protest against us. You see the absolute absurdity of this, the absolute absurdity of the situation we find ourselves in the United Kingdom at the moment. Lots of statistics out there about this. I'm not going to dwell on it, guys. I want to keep this on the weather video. You know, I want this just to be, you know, not a warning, but just be cautious that I think the weather is really going to drop this winter. We've been very, very lucky the last 2 winters that we've not had deep cold. We've not had deep cold for any length of time. And, you know, it's only a matter of time before we get a cold winter. I can really see the temperature dropping right now. And what people don't understand is the strain that we've had on the network. You know, we've not had to, you know, we've not had to exploit our overseas, I think exploit's the wrong word, but we've not had to call on as much overseas energy from Europe as we normally would have. Remember, right now, the Ukrainian energy system has been absolutely decimated by Russian attacks. The knock-on effect of that is the Ukrainians, when it gets cold, and guys, trust me, it gets cold in Ukraine. This winter, the Ukrainians are going to have to pull energy from somewhere if it gets really cold. And guys, where are they going to pull that from? They can't pull it from Russia. They can't pull it from Belarus. There's nothing to the south but sea. You know, the only place they can pull it from is through Poland and potentially mainland Europe. So there'll have to be cables. They'll have to be put in place, and you know, electricity will have to be pumped into Ukraine. That's going to take a toll on the European structure. Where does the United Kingdom get our energy from when we're struggling? Because remember, we are not a net energy producer. When we turn, you know, when we turn the heating up, when we turn the electricity up, we need to get that electricity from somewhere. Normally that comes from France via nuclear. So you can see now that this grid is already under a lot of strain. There's already more people in the United Kingdom that we had 10 years ago. That means more people turning their kettles on, more people turning their heating on, more people turning their electric blankets on this year, you know, and all this puts a big toll on the energy grid. Guys, honestly, this year, I really think that we could see these, you know, these catastrophes happen. And you've got to double all this up now with the cuts and the feeling of anxiety among the public about these cuts, about the winter fuel payments. And don't forget, the winter fuel payment has that has a toll on the whole family, because are we really going to see our nans, our granddads, our mums, our dads go cold in their house? No, of course not. You know, we're gonna pay for that. And remember, what did I say? I said we're gonna have that seven-pronged strike this year at winter. So, you know, if we see problems with the water, problems with the electric, cost of living crisis, as in food, you know, I said there's a potential for, you know, sabotage in the United Kingdom, whereby we could have hostile nations come in here and, you know, destroy our energy grid, destroy our water grid. We've got the cost of living with the winter fuel payments going down. And then, you know, we've got Christmas, you know, the time when people are supposed to be joyous. All this is going to come to a loggerhead, and the added Brucey bonus is if we have a particularly cold winter this year in the United Kingdom, guys, it's going to be absolutely catastrophic. Anyway, guys, I'm going to mag to grid. I'll get you guys another video later.